G'day guys, m8t5 here, and today I'm joined by fellow YouTuber X82.
Hey, what's up guys, this is X82 and I have a channel called X82 Reviews. So, m8t5, now that I have introduced myself, would you please tell them what game are we gonna review?
Alright, today we're gonna be reviewing Resident Evil HD. So Resident Evil HD is a third-person survival horror game that was developed by Capcom that I reviewed on the PlayStation 4.
And I reviewed it on the PC.
This is a remaster of a remake of Resident Evil that was first released on GameCube in 2002. It is both a remake and a reimagining of the original 1996 game that was regarded to be the game that popularized and set the benchmark for survival horror games. You play as Jill Valentine or Chris Redfield, who are members of an elite task force known as STARS, that also contain fellow members Barry Burton, Albert Wesker, and Joseph Frost. Together, they form Team Alpha.
And I have to say that Wesker is a major badass. I mean, pit this guy against any other badasses and he could win them all hands down. Big Boss, Xehanort, Lubu, Ryu Hayabusa, all of them would lose the Wesker.
Damn right. So the game is set on the outskirts of Raccoon City, where reports of bizarre murders have been occurring. So STARS Team Bravo is sent in to investigate, but when contact with them is lost, Team Alpha is sent in to investigate their disappearance. That's where you come in. And while searching the forests outside of Raccoon City, you end up discovering a gigantic mansion filled with terrifying creatures, resulted from horrifying experiments, and where the search for answers begin. So this remake from 2002 is considered to be one of the best entries in the Resident Evil series. Not only did it improve upon the story and gameplay elements of the original, but also added additional scenes and story events to keep things interesting. So if you have played the original 2002 game, then things are pretty much the same in this 2015 remaster. The visuals have cleared up and given a widescreen upgrade, and the characters and environments seem improved. But when you think about it, the original 2002 game actually looked really good for its time, so this remaster mostly just cleans things up for the HD era. Other additions in the remaster is the different control scheme, which I imagine is supposed to appeal to modern audiences. Using the additional control scheme, you always run, and you can run in the direction that you point the stick in without having to turn. I myself prefer the old control scheme in which you have to hold a button to run and turn the character yourself, but the added control scheme is an excellent idea to appeal to modern day gamers. And if you're that old school, you can even switch the screen size back to the original 4:3. I just love how they thought about each generation of gamer. But in terms of gameplay, this game is still very old school, with fixed camera angles, stuck on the spot gameplay, puzzles to solve, and lots of backtracking. So let's get to what we really liked about this game. The environments and the atmosphere are what really stole the show for me in this game. I love how it feels like you're roaming around a creepy mansion full of mystery. The original 1996 game was so well lit and colourful that it turned out to not be that scary, but this 2002 remake lacks colour and is dark and haunting. I also love that most areas don't have any sound, and that is more terrifying than any soundtrack ever, because it's all about natural ambiance, the fear of the unknown. So if something happens, like you get attacked or zombies break through the windows out of nowhere, it will take you more by surprise due to the lack of music, which is what kept happening to me. I really love this design, and think more horror games today should do the same. Silent Hill also had at times lack of soundtrack while you explored, which made the game even worse, in a horror point of view. There is a decent variety of terrifying enemies in this game, most of which are zombified versions of animals such as sharks, plants, and snakes. But there are also plenty of terrifying creatures such as the Crimson Heads. Crimson Heads is how the game combats your backtracking in this game. For example, once you kill a zombie and come back after a certain amount of time, they will rise back from the dead as a Crimson Head. They are faster and more dangerous than a regular zombie, and the only way to prevent this from happening is to burn the bodies or blow its head off. These enemies are great because it makes you think twice about killing that zombie, especially if you don't have enough kerosene. So not only do you have to survive this horrifying mansion, but you also have to solve its many but interesting puzzles. I felt they were the right level of difficulty. They can make you think, but not enough to make you want to rip your hair out trying to solve them. So what aspects of Resident Evil HD did you really enjoy, X82?
Well, m8t5, I have to say that I have never played the original Resident Evil or the GameCube remake, but I have played the DS remake Deadly Silence. So when I played this game, I was amazed about how good the game was. First off, when I first played this game, I was expecting the same game as the Deadly Silence game, but I was surprised that this game was different than the DS game. There was different puzzles that I liked, even though I had to watch some walkthroughs on YouTube to solve them. You go into different locations for the first time, which got me off guard. And I liked the new control scheme. I also liked the graphics and the level design, and the atmosphere was spot on. I really sometimes felt really alone and defenseless while playing the game. The Crimson Heads was also a really good addition to the game. Many times when I had to backtrack and I have to re-encounter them, I was like, nope, so much nope, because they were fast and strong and really scary when you first time encountered them. In fact, the monster designs were all fantastic. Like the zombies design, I like the dogs design, and oh my god, whoever designed Lisa Treble and the Tyrant should get a fucking medal for his or her work.
I have to agree with you 100%. Lisa Trevor was probably the scariest monster in the game for me, and she wasn't in the original game, so I'm glad that she made it into this version. But of course, this game isn't perfect, so let's move on to what we didn't like, or what let us down in this game. For the majority of the game, the upgraded HD visuals look great, but there are times where you find the odd low resolution, stretched or blurred textures, but it's only every now and then, so I'm not sure if it was just too difficult to touch them up or what, but it's definitely noticeable. And finally, and this was a much loved con from the original 1996 version, but it's still quite bad in this game, not as much, but still quite bad, is the writing and voice acting. I seriously don't understand why they didn't fix this issue. I mean, to be honest, yes, it's a load times better when compared to the B-movie voice acting of the 1996 version, but in the updated version, it was still enough to make my eyes roll. There's no passion, no love for these characters, with wooden dialogue that just didn't sell the characters to me. So this isn't a con for me, but it will be for a lot of people out there, and I think especially for modern audiences, this game is very old school. Games have changed a lot since 1996 and 2002. Most survival horror gamers would say it has changed for the worse, but you can't deny it has changed, and I think modern gamers would have trouble adapting to this old school survival horror gameplay. Fixed camera angles, stuck on the spot gunplay, the difficulty in backtracking. All of these are pretty much non-existent in most horror titles today, and even in the later Resident Evil series. I personally love the older Resident Evil games and enjoyed the way they play, and some of these aspects add to the overall enjoyment I had with this game, and made it all the more terrifying. Even with the additional control scheme, I'm not sure modern gamers will enjoy it as much. So I had minor issues with the game, but what did you think, X82?
Well, m8t5, I have to agree with you that I also discovered some low quality textures even on the PC version, and even though I kinda like the voice acting, I think I would have been nice to have updated voice acting. I'm not saying the original voice acting is bad, but come on, you cannot beat DC Douglas as Wesker, or Arthur Gregg Smith as Chris Redfield. Stupid Redfield. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
I still do laugh so hard when I hear the 1996 voice acting. It's just so bad that it's good. If anybody out there hasn't heard it, go and YouTube it after this review. So overall, I love the 2002 version of Resident Evil. It improved upon almost everything from the original game, while also introducing new events and side stories to keep returning fans interested. As a remaster, while it doesn't add anything game-breaking new to the original 2002 game, it's still is a great addition to 2015 if you feel like returning to the mansion, or if you missed the game. In my opinion, this is one of the best survival horror games you can ever buy. It may be old school and may not appeal to everybody, but personally, I think it's awesome. Final thoughts, X82?
On and all, I really love Resident Evil HD Remastered. The game is a fantastic journey all the way through, but it has started to show a little bit of its age with the voice acting. But the other aspects of the game has been enhanced for it to be one of the best game in the series with the updated graphics and the new control scheme. So, I'm happy to give Resident Evil HD Remastered a 9 out of 10.
I have to agree, I give it a 9 out of 10 as well. Resident Evil HD is a great way to remember a classic for modern times, with smooth, clear visuals and classic survival horror. While this remaster doesn't add anything new to the game, it didn't really need to, as it was already a fantastic game. And if you happen to enjoy this game, do not forget to check out Resident Evil 2 and 3. They don't have remasters or anything, but again, are classic additions to the survival horror genre. So what did you guys think of Resident Evil HD? Do you think that this is one of the best survival horror titles out there? And if you have any questions about the game, remember to leave me a comment down below and I'll get back to you. And if you liked this review, remember to like me on Facebook or subscribe to me on YouTube if you want to see more. And don't forget to check out X82's review page, and I've left a link in the description below. And thanks everybody for watching our review of Resident Evil HD. X82, it was great doing a review of you. I hope we get a chance to do it again. It's been great fun. And to everybody out there who watched our review, I hope you enjoyed. It's a great game. Resident Evil HD is just a classic, a reimagining of a classic game. And if you want to play what was the peak of survival horror, then this is it. Alright, m8t5 and X82 are bloody out of here.